Let's be honest. If becoming rich was really about working hard, then why is it that teachers and construction workers aren't billionaires by now? Well, the answer is simple. And this is about to be a truth bomb, so pay attention. It's because wealth has never been about how hard you work. It's about understanding a formula that most people were never taught. So my goal for this video is to completely break down step by step the simple wealth formula no one taught you in school or at work. Because guess what? It's not about luck, high income, or some fancy finance jargon. It's about seeing how money actually moves in the real world and how you can seriously make it move for you. And I'll just tell you right now, once you understand this, you'll never see money the same way again. So let's start with step 1, the harsh reality: you were never taught to get rich. Here, put it this way: you weren't educated, you were programmed. And this is the first point I want you to take from this video. Basically, from the moment you started school, you were taught to follow rules, not create them. You were graded on memorization, not wealth creation. You were told, go to school, get a job, save money. But here's the trick. System wasn't designed to make you rich. It was designed to make you useful. Think about it. The school system never taught you what assets are, how to manage taxes, how to invest, or how to make money while you sleep. They taught you how to be an employee, not an owner. That's why most people graduate with degrees and debt, not wealth. So the first step of this formula isn't financial, it's mental. You have to reprogram yourself from earn to survive to learn to multiply. Once you realize that wealth is a skill, not a salary, you stop chasing raises and start building systems. And that brings us to step 2. Because once your mind shifts, the next step is to fix the one thing that silently kills 90% of people's chances of building wealth. Step 2, control your cash flow, not your coffee. Let me guess, you've probably heard this before. Stop buying lattes and you'll be rich. Yeah, no, that's financial toddler talk. The truth is, your $5 coffee isn't the reason you're broke. Your cash flow system is. Here's the formula, and this might sound confusing, but just stay with me. Cash flow equals income minus expenses plus assets that pay you. But most people never build the third part. They stop at income minus expenses. They get paid, they spend, they survive, they repeat. No wonder they feel stuck. Real wealth starts when you stop managing money emotionally and start managing it mathematically. That means you don't budget to cut back, you budget to redirect. Every dollar gets a job. And some of those dollars better be working for you. Here's how the rich see it. Their money has employees. Every dollar they earn is like a worker they send out to bring back more money. Your goal? Build a business of dollars that keeps working when you're not. So if your paycheck disappears the moment you get it, you don't have a spending problem, you have a system problem. And once you fix your system, the next step is to stop wasting your most valuable resource. And no, it's not money. Step 3, stop trading time for money. Now it's time to get serious, because here's a brutal truth. If your income stops the second you stop working, you're not free. You're rented. See, most people spend their entire lives selling hours. They trade time, which is the only thing we can't get back, for something they can always make more of: money. Like seriously, that's like selling gold for pennies. But don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with hard work. But hard work alone doesn't make you rich. It just makes you tired. If effort alone created wealth, single moms working double shifts would be millionaires by Tuesday. So let's flip the script. The wealthy understand one thing that school, jobs, and grind culture never taught you. You don't get rich by earning more. You get rich by owning more. They use money to buy back their time. They build systems, buy assets, hire people, or automate processes that keep earning even when they're asleep. Think about this. Jeff Bezos doesn't deliver Amazon packages. Kylie Jenner doesn't personally ship makeup orders. And you don't have to be them to apply the same principle. Even a small online business, a rental property, or a dividend-paying stock does the same thing. That's the real secret. You want to turn your income into ownership. Instead of saying, I need to make $5,000 a month, start asking, how can I make $5,000 a month that doesn't depend on me showing up? Because here's the math nobody teaches you. A dollar earned once disappears. A dollar earned repeatedly without extra effort becomes leverage. Let's make this real. Say you create a digital product, a course, an ebook, whatever, and it earns you $100 every week. That's not life-changing at first, but over a year, that's $5,000. Over 10 years, $50,000. From something you built once. That's how the rich think. They build assets, not hours. They don't hustle for the next check. They plant trees that keep dropping checks forever. So stop thinking like an employee. Start thinking like an architect, someone who builds structures that keep paying them back. Because the moment you stop trading time for money is the moment you start buying freedom. Now let me pause real quick and just say this. If you're someone still working on your journey to financial freedom, or maybe you're curious about the stealth wealth lifestyle, we've created an entire playlist to help you go from broke and middle class to financially untouchable. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and join our members list to stay updated. But anyways, now speaking of freedom, step 4 is where most people accidentally destroy theirs, by playing financial defense their whole life instead of learning how to play offense. Step 4, play offense, not defense. The psychology of spending. To be completely honest, most people treat money like a landmine. They tiptoe around it, afraid to make a mistake. But here's the truth. Wealth isn't built through fear. It's built through strategy. When you're always playing defense, cutting, saving, budgeting, you can't win. You can only survive. And survival doesn't create freedom. Here's how rich people flip the script. They treat every dollar as a soldier, and those soldiers have missions. Some are meant to protect savings, some are meant to attack investments, and some are meant to expand territory, income streams. Poor people focus on spending less. Rich people focus on earning smarter. That's why when they make extra money, they don't just upgrade their lifestyle, they upgrade their cash flow. Example, most people get a raise, buy a new car. Rich people get a raise, buy an asset that pays for the car. See the difference? You can either build wealth to look rich or build wealth to be rich. And that brings us to step 5, the point where money finally starts working for you instead of the other way around. Step 5, multiply. The compounding secret nobody talks about. Albert Einstein called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. He said, "Those who understand it earn it. Those who don't, pay it." Most people pay it. They finance cars, swipe credit cards, and take on loans that make banks rich while they get poorer, because no one ever taught them how to make compounding work for them. Compounding isn't just about interest. It's about decisions. Every dollar you invest, every skill you build, every system you create compounds. And I need you to understand this clearly. So think of it like this. When you plant an apple tree, you don't get fruit right away, but give it time, and one tree becomes 10. That's how wealth works. You plant seeds, investments, habits, knowledge, and they grow roots while you sleep. Look, it's not about doing one big thing right. It's about doing the small things consistently for long enough that the world can't ignore the results. So stop chasing overnight success. Start building lifetime momentum. Because once you understand compounding, step 6 is where you learn to protect it. Before life, taxes, or poor decisions take it all away. Step 6, protect what you build. The rule of silent defense. You've probably heard people say, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And while that's cliche, it's 100% true. Because let's just be real. Making money feels exciting, but keeping it? That's where most people fail. See, wealth doesn't disappear in one big moment. It leaks through lifestyle creep, taxes, bad spending habits, impulsive investing, or trusting the wrong people. And the sad part? You often don't notice the leaks until it's too late. That's why the wealthy treat protection like insurance for freedom. They know it's not sexy. No one's bragging about their tax strategy or their emergency fund, but that's exactly why it works. Because real wealth doesn't show off. It shields. Think about it this way. You wouldn't build $1 million house and then skip on locks, right? But most people do that with their money. They work 40, 50, 60 hours a week, only to hand half of it back through taxes, bad debts, and emotional purchases. The rich play defense differently. They learn the rules of the game, the tax laws, the insurance codes, the write-offs, and they use them like armor, because the tax code wasn't written to punish the rich. It was written by the rich for people who think like them. For example, employees get taxed before they spend. Business owners spend before they get taxed. Big difference. That's why wealthy people invest through LLCs, own assets in trusts, and make sure their money moves strategically, not emotionally. And you can start small. Have 6 months of living expenses saved. Get proper insurance. Start an LLC for your side income. And for the love of wealth, learn your tax brackets. Because you can't build financial freedom on a foundation full of holes. Protection isn't fear, it's freedom insurance. It's how you make sure all the work you've done stays yours. And once you've built your financial wall, step 7 shows you how to scale it, not by working harder, but by using other people's time, money, and systems to grow faster. Step 7, leverage, the secret shortcut the rich use daily. Let me tell you something that'll either offend you or free you. Rich people are lazy on purpose. They don't want to do everything themselves, and that's exactly why they get rich. Because the wealthy understand a rule that poor and middle-class people completely ignore. You'll never get ahead doing everything alone. They use leverage, which is just a fancy word for multiplying your effort without multiplying your workload. Think about it like this. If you can push 100 pounds with your hands, that's effort. But if you use a lever, suddenly you can move 500 pounds with the same strength. That's leverage. And in wealth, it's the exact same principle. Most people try to work harder. The rich ask, who or what can do this for me? Leverage comes in 4 forms. Other people's time, OPT. You hire or delegate so your time frees up for higher value work. Other people's money, OPM. You borrow smartly or partner with investors to scale faster than your savings ever could. Other people's skills, OPS. You collaborate with people who are great at what you suck at, systems and technology. You automate, outsource, and streamline so things run without you. That's why entrepreneurs build teams. That's why investors use loans. And that's why the wealthy don't brag about grind culture. Because while everyone else is glorifying exhaustion, they're optimizing efficiency. You can start using leverage even if you're broke. Can't afford employees? Hire a VA overseas for a few hours a week. Don't have big capital? Partner with someone who does and split the profits. Can't code? Use AI tools and automations to do the heavy lifting. You don't need permission, just creativity. Because once you stop thinking, I have to do everything myself, you start asking, how can this get done without me? And that's when your life changes. The rich don't win because they're smarter. They win because they multiply themselves while everyone else duplicates their effort. Remember this, leverage turns effort into exponential results. It's how one person can earn in a day what another earns in a month, because they built something that scales. So yes, the rich are lazy, but it's the kind of lazy that builds empires. And speaking of empires, step 8 is where you learn the real secret behind momentum. The people, energy, and environment you surround yourself with. Because no matter how sharp your plan is, if your circle's broke, your mindset will be too. Step 8, environment over everything, the hidden accelerator. Let me give you a golden piece of advice. You can't build millionaire habits around minimum wage mindsets. It just doesn't work. If you hang out with 5 broke friends, you'll become the 6th. But if you spend time with 5 people building wealth, you'll start thinking differently without even realizing it. Environment isn't just people. It's what you watch, what you scroll, what you read, and what you normalize. If your feed is filled with drama, gossip, and flex culture, your brain is being programmed for financial failure. But if your feed is full of business, wealth, mindset, and investing, guess what? You start acting like that's normal. And that's the key. Wealth isn't built by talent. It's built by normalizing wealth behavior. So change your inputs, curate your circle, build an environment where progress is contagious. Because no one rises above the standards of the people around them. Once you've got your environment right, step 9 is where everything accelerates, where wealth stops being theoretical and becomes predictable. Step 9, create repeatable systems, wealth that runs without you. Here's a dirty little secret you need to understand. If you have to work for your money forever, you don't own a business. You own a job with extra stress. The rich build systems, repeatable processes that generate income whether they show up or not. That could be an automated e-commerce store, a rental property, a YouTube channel, or an investment portfolio. The details differ. The principle doesn't. You build once, you get paid repeatedly. Think of systems like dominoes. Set them up right, and one push keeps the motion going for years. Want financial freedom? Stop thinking, how can I make more money? And start asking, how can I make this happen automatically? Because that's the end game of the wealth formula. Removing yourself from the equation. And when your systems run, you finally get what everyone's chasing, but few ever reach: time freedom. And that leads to the final step. The one thing that separates the rich from everyone else, even when the numbers are the same. Step 10, build legacy. Make money mean something. Okay, now here's the part no one talks about. Once you master the formula, mindset, money, assets, systems, There's one last test: purpose. Because wealth without purpose eventually feels empty. There's only so many vacations, cars, and dopamine purchases before you start asking, what now? Legacy is about impact. It's about creating something that outlives you. Knowledge, opportunities, a family foundation, or simply freedom passed down. The wealthiest people in history, Rockefeller, Buffett, Musk, all understood this. Wealth compounds fastest when it's shared strategically. Legacy is when your money starts working for others too, not just you. So the real, simple wealth formula ends here. Mindset, cash flow, leverage, systems, then legacy. It's not magic, it's math, multiplied by time and discipline, and anyone can use it. That's the simple wealth formula no one taught you. But once you learn it, you'll never go back to the old way of thinking about money. So now that you understand the formula, the next step is learning how to apply it quietly, like the ultra-rich do. Because real wealth doesn't scream, it whispers. So if you found this content valuable, comment the words wealth formula. That way I'll know you're serious about mastering this game. Quietly, strategically, and permanently. As a matter of fact, we can show you how to use this exact formula while keeping your 9 to 5, until your systems make your paycheck optional. Watch our next video to get the full scoop. Just click the video on the screen now. And we'll see you in the next one.